I guess we don't. If you want to prove the defendant innocent, you have to ask better questions than that. Like I need a lecture from Smiles Magoo. Shit. Please tell the court about the position of the prints on the lighter. They're around the same spot on either side, as if they would be she were holding it up. I suppose it was used to light the room. It would be held that way. I believe this is important. Please swap this statement in your testimony.
Hold it!
Yes, Miss Blackwell did mention she saw a lit lighter being held up. Yep, meaning the person Miss Blackwell saw was the owner of the fingerprints. It just strengthens the argument against Miss Sykes. This line of questioning is going to get me anywhere except conviction land.
Objection!
Oh, we're out. Let's try this again. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't her statement she had it on the left hand or
Hold it!
Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay.
Hold it!
What does she say? Oh, wait, that's the autopsy. Left hand! Knife on the right. Bam! That's what I was looking for. You say the prints were from a right hand, is that correct? Well, that's right, very clear prints. But that just doesn't add up. Huh? What doesn't add up? According to Miss Blackwell, who saw the culprit herself, this person had a lighter in their left hand. Oh? So here's the dilemma before us. Why are the prints on the lighter from a right hand instead of a left? Nah. You're right. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Your Honor, this lighter can hardly be called incriminating evidence. The witness claims it doesn't even hold water. Detective Fulbright, I hope you have a good explanation for this. I just can't understand it. They're definitely right-handed prints. But then why are they inconsistent with Miss Blackwell's statement? I've got it. What have you got, Detective? The mirror. The witness must have seen a reflection of the culprit in the mirror. Go on. Miss Blackwell was looking in through the window of boarding lounge 1, wasn't she? I believe so. If you mean the little window in the back of the... That's right, and across the room on the opposite wall, there's a large mirror. I do remember seeing it. Ah, so you're saying... Yes, the culprit, Miss Blackwell, saw must have been a reflection of that person in the mirror. Ah, I see. In that case, right and left would appear reversed, wouldn't they? Ha ha ha! Now do you see? That's the logic of your justice.
Objection!
But your argument is only conjecture. You don't have any proof that what Miss Blackwell saw was the reflection.
Silence!
Right, Dono. You sooner nick yourself than him like that. Put some more muscle into it. Huh? Ha ha ha! That's right! Besides, the lighter couldn't have been in the left hand. And why not? Miss Blackwell said she had an Earth emblem on the lighter, didn't she? The emblem is only on one side of the lighter. You're right, there's no emblem on the other side. Exactly as blankets and the judges find Scout. If the culprit had a lighter in their left hand, they would have covered the emblem. Uh-oh. What's more, this is the kind of lighter you flick with your thumb before lighting. So the culprit had held in their left hand with the emblem out and visible. They wouldn't have been able to open it, let alone light it. But if they had held in their right hand, they could easily open it and light it. This all means that the culprit was definitely holding the lighter in their right hand. No! Come back, my beautiful contradiction. It appears you planted a flower that bears no fruit. Ha ha ha! I'll see how it withers before my flower of justice. He's tough. He's managed to discredit almost everything I've proven up to this point. Injustice we trust? Now do you see? I'm not the phantom you've been talking about. I mean, are you sure there really is a spy? I bet they're just a figment of your imagination. Oh, it's so sad, so very sad, but I'm afraid Miss Sykes is the culprit. Come on, Bobby. Detective Fulbright, I believe you said that the emblem is only on one side of the lighter. Are you sure about that? Of course I'm sure. Why don't you take a look for yourself and see? Do you see an Earth emblem on both sides of the lighter? Discord. I knew it. You're lying, detective. Pardon me? You mean... Yes, my bracelet reacted to a statement about the emblem. He's definitely hiding something big, and I think if we use my talent, we might be able to figure it out. Justice Dono, are you to use that cheat of yours again? It's not cheating, Prosecutor Blackwell. Very well. Whether I like it or not, I suppose we should use whatever works right now. Go on, then. We have a Prosecutor Blackwell's reluctant blessing, apparently. Okay, Apollo, you're up. Here goes, then. Detective Fulbright? What in the world are you up to? Alright, fine. I'll say it as many times as you like. Listen carefully. Your emblem was only on the side that you can see when held in the right hand. He moves his thumb. He moves his thumb.
Gotcha!
Like he was flicking a lighter. Detective Fulbright, you might not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the phrase the Earth emblem, your left thumb moves. In fact, it appears as though you're running it along the edge of your holster. Mr. Lawyer, I don't have the foggiest notion what you're talking about. Be that as it may, I know it has something to do with the lighter. Let me examine it. But why? You're not making any sense. You can't just...
Silence!
Be still and do as you're told, Fulbright. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't mind them having a look-see, should you? What? Not you too, Prosecutor Blackwell? I'm not sure what this is all about, but Prosecutor Blackwell insists. It must be something important. I will allow the defense to examine the lighter. Good, now maybe we'll learn something new. I hope so. Now let's check every inch of this thing. Ugh, the back is covered with blood. Say, do you notice anything funny about this blood stain? You're right, it suddenly breaks off unnaturally. On the emblem and on the lid where you open it. You're right, there's definitely something off here. I don't see anything unusual about the top of the lid, but Detective Fulbright's words were definitely hiding something. Let's look for something that has to do with what he said. So this is the Earth emblem Detective Fulbright was talking about. See anything noteworthy? Huh? Hey, look at this emblem. It's actually some kind of button. It's a gun. Wow, it transformed into something. A handle? A trigger? Is this what I think it is? There's no question. It seems what you have there is a gun. A what? A gun? So that's it. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial when Director Cosmos was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small, maybe a 10 caliber. This little compact gun probably takes bullets of that caliber. It looks like this gun is that was fired at the scene. I'm flabbergasted. The lighter was a gun. 1 second, yo. What is going on? So when Detective Fulbright would touch this holster, that's right, whenever he mentioned the Earth emblem, he must have subconsciously thought about the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning. A lighter that transformed into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. It's not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly in the domain of elite spies. Detective Fulbright, you will explain yourself. Ha ha ha, there's nothing for me to explain. I didn't know the lighter could transform. I mean, it was found in the Space Museum that I brought it straight in. I didn't even have time to check it out.
Objection!
Whenever you mentioned the Earth emblem, you touched your holster. You subconsciously did that because you knew it was a gun. Accuse me all you want, but where's your proof? Do you have any evidence that I knew the lighter was a gun? Not exactly. And whose prints are on it? Miss Sykes' prints. It proves that she's the culprit who fired the gun at the scene. It would appear that the detective is right. Are you guys really trying to prove your client innocent or what? Although it pains me to do this, now that we are where we are, I have to make the following assertions coming from the prosecution side. The person who fired the gun at the Director Cosmos in the lounge after the incident, and the person Miss Blackwell saw holding the lighter, and the person who murdered Mr. Terran, and the person who bombed the Space Center, are all the defendant, Athena Sykes. The prints on the lighter are decisive proof. No! Ha ha ha! Now do you see a man on the side of justice couldn't possibly be the culprit. And I think this about sums up Miss Sykes' part in the whole affair. The evidence certainly does seem to point the defendant's guilt. Do you have anything to say, Prosecutor Blackwell? Evidence is everything in court, therefore Fulbright's claims stand firm. But, calm down, Apollo. He's just saying that because he has to, as the prosecutor. Mr. Lawyer, your job to pursue criminals is the name of justice. You shouldn't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as a habit. In fact, you have a bad habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bedhead.
Objection!
Says the man who wears sunglasses at night. It's proof you want it. It's proof you'll get. If it's proof you want it. It'll prove that the lighter's not Miss Sykes, but yours. Sounds like you've hit on something, Apollo. It's just that the prints on the lighter are the basis for accusing Athena. That's right. It could all be part of Fulbright's bigger plot. Did he do anything out of the ordinary while I was off on my own? I can definitely think of a few things. He's very forthcoming with information. It is indeed. Have a look at this. What's this? A lighter? Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yes, I just happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. If we assume he's been laying a big trap for us all along, there's gotta be something off about this piece of evidence. What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? No, I guess we don't see anything strange about how the prints were left on the lighter. Nothing unusual. Are they really Athena's? They definitely matched her print data. But what about the data itself? Detective Fulbright, you were the one who pried us with the lighter and the print data. Isn't that correct? Yes, what about it? You say Miss Sykes' prints match the print data. But I have to wonder, was the data you used official? Mr. Wright, are you suggesting that the evidence that might have been fabricated? I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's re-examine the prints. Using the official sanctioned print data of the people involved in this case. What? You dare insult the epitome of justice and integrity? There's no need for such antics.
Silence.
Your Honor, I lend my voice to the defense's request. You must allow the test to be rerun. Very well then, bailiff. It appears that the official data is here. And the results? It's just as the defense claims. This proves that the prints on the lighter do not belong to the defendant. Yes. The fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Clayton. They were Clay's fingerprints on the lighter? I see. Come to think of it. Wasn't it you, Fulbright, who collected the victim's prints? I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. When you took the deceased's fingerprints, you could have easily planted his prints on the lighter with his blood, after which you wiped the blood off of his hand. By your own admission, you were also the one who compiled the phony print data, all to put the blame on Miss Sykes. This ploy must have been to distract us from the Phantom who was behind everything. You were out to create the impression that the Phantom wasn't the true culprit. So does this mean Detective Fulbright really is the Phantom?